So Nicky, 75 Cheltenham Festival winners, 2 Gold Cups, 9 champion hurdles, 6 Queen Mother champion chases, 2 stairs hurdles. It's been incredible since you then started you off right back at the beginning at the festival.
They've been great years. I think we've been very lucky. Some fantastic horses have come through us and with us, and you're very lucky. It's been a special meeting, of course it is, but there've been good days. There've been an awful lot of bad ones as well, but you've got to remember the good days, and I sure do.
When you walk through, I say the gates, but you might not necessarily walk through a gate as such, but when you walk through at Cheltenham on that Tuesday, champion hurdle day, you've won 9 of them, so it's been a pretty good day for you over the years. But the butterflies inside, are you like us racegoers at that moment? Are you feeling it?
Oh yeah, you do. And the atmosphere. I'd always enjoyed going and having a walk round on the Sunday morning. You just sort of quietly just go and take it in, have a look at the ground and take a deep breath and get ready to go. Yeah, it is. The atmosphere is everything, isn't it? This is the 4 days of the year that really counts. Everybody wants to be there. It is exciting, and it's very exciting to be a player. I think we'll have, hopefully if all goes well, a pretty strong team. We're going to get a lot of opposition from where. So England has got to fight hard. But there's a lot of good horses around. We've got a good squad, Paul, and everybody. There's some very good horses around in England at the moment. Very good.
We want you to go bang bang on Tuesday, Supreme Arkle. They're up for grabs for you this year, so let's get straight into it. Old Park Star in the Supreme. I asked Nico the other day whether he was as good a novice hurdler as he'd ridden, and I got abuse about it from the point of view of the fact that obviously Constitution Hill had won the Supreme like a monster. My point was kind of pre-Supreme rather than after. We don't know how good, but is this right up there now with as good a youngster as you've had?
Well, your question to Nico was fair enough, but I could go back to 2 times in the Supreme, which was Altior and Constitution Hill. And with both of those, I think we could all say we were supremely confident. I couldn't see Altior getting beaten. I think Min was the opposition that year. Yeah. And Constitution Hill, I don't think there was opposition. They were... If they'd have got beaten in that, I would have been very, very upset. Well, you always get upset, but I thought they were, on the day, they were unbeatable, and they were. We're not in that situation, I can assure you. I think he's a really nice horse. He's done everything right. He couldn't have done it more right. And he seems to have been improving all the way through.
Okay, so we won the Supreme, hopefully, with Old Park Star. Then we go on to the Arkle, Lulamba, who's going to be a strong horse in the market. He'd have learnt a lot, I imagine, in that game spirit the other day. And
that was the whole point of it. He didn't need a race. He didn't need a run. He needed the experience. And I think the reason for running him, and we've done it before in the older horses out of novice, they just go a little bit quicker, and it's a little bit, I don't say harder, but it was important to get him experience and more experience going with those sort of horses. We went down the inn, Nick and I'd walk the course in the morning, to be honest with you, with a view to taking him out because of the ground. It wasn't that bad, and there was a lovely strip of ground down the inside, and we were going to have to, A, get onto that strip, but B, that was going to take him into there wasn't a big field, I know, but he was going to get into the ruck of it. And that was the important part of it from his education point of view. And he was having to jump that little bit quicker because of the experience of all those horses. But in behind them and really just go a good gallop from the word go. And that's what you get coming out of novice chases, where it's a little bit calmer. And yeah, it made him think. The thing I loved about it, yeah, he, for a moment turning in, Nick said had to sort of wake up a little bit. Once he got to the second last, flew that, and over the last, he was gone. And that was nice. When he was in there with them, that's where his education was taking place. I love the way he finished the race, that was great.
which doesn't come as a surprise because he looks a little bit Django Bayish in that he could be more 2.5 mile come next season rather than a champion chaser.
I think almost certainly. And the same, with Django, not surprisingly, he's gone 2.5, he's gone from 2 straight into 3. And I would have thought Lulamba would almost certainly be doing the same next year. If, as it was 3 years ago, we had the 2.5 mile novice chase as well as you had 3 novice chases, 2, 2.5 and 3. I'd say if the 2.5 was there now, he'd be running in it, yes.
Active Innocence goes for the Turners. Good in the Sydney. Banks gave £20 to Manila Yoga and didn't quite pull it off at Newbury. Some people gave up on him, I felt, after that, but seemed to forget about the weight differential. You've obviously always held this horse in a lot of regard. He's around 12-1 for the Turners. He'd be a fair each-way chance, wouldn't he?
I don't bet, but at that I could say you'd be tempted to have a pound on him. Yeah, beautiful horse. He's going to make some chaser. But yeah, he's got that. I'd be pretty sure stamina is there. 2.5 round Huntingdon doesn't tell you everything, but he did that really well. It was very smooth. His jumping's good. Yeah, he's got to be up there. I could see him being. Yeah, I think he's got a great chance.
Fantasy World, who was a relatively short price for the Triumph Hurdle, considering he'd never won over hurdles, ran at Musselburgh, got stuffed, and he clearly didn't run as well as you would want him to.
Nick had just got off and said, put a line through that. Musselburgh is a law unto itself. It's a great place, lovely people, but I've found this out before and regretted it. It's not a track for everybody, and it didn't. He said you couldn't get that horse. Everything was wrong. He didn't blow at all. I think he just got fooled by the track, if nothing else. He just made a little mistake at the far side and jumped beautifully the rest of the way. He'll be fine.
The great Constitution Hill. Have you ever had a bigger decision in your career?
Well, I read Lee thinks it's the biggest decision I've had to make in 45 years. Yeah. Fine. We have to make them on a daily basis. So, but this is, it's very important. There's a lot of emotional stuff hanging on this whole thing.
Not just for you, but for Michael Buckley, the owner, as well.
Yes, right? It comes down to Michael and myself. There's no point in passing the buck. We'd listen to everybody. You want to see the mail that comes through. The lovely thing is the mailbox is very, very full, and there are only 2 letters that are coming in. Some of them are lovely, saying, get well soon, Sir Gino. And the other 50% telling us what to do with Constitution Hill. I read the Sir Gino ones, and then I read the Constitution Hill ones.
One of them might have said, get Yogi Breisner in, which you've done. By all accounts, listening to people around the yard, he has jumped just about every kind of obstacle that he could, and he jumps them all well. Does it, again, really help you, though, the fact that he is jumping everything well? It's better than jumping it badly, I guess.
It has, yeah. He has been great. But I think it's not just that. On that score, I would be relatively confident, which might be hard to believe, but it's the emotion of the whole thing, isn't it? It's going to be... There'd be a lot of heart-wrenching between now and then, let alone on the day. Crikey, how are we going to... Woof.
Is there an element, Nicky, with this, though, that once we start getting so worried about running a horse over a jump, it opens up all other questions about, like, OK, well, if one falls once, should it run again over jumps? It's like, is there an element of they are horses, they are bred to jump. This chap has come from the point-to-point field.
Best jumper in England.
Yeah. And yes, he has fallen a lot recently, but he loves jumping at home, so it's not that he doesn't like jumping. Like that's what he's bred to do.
And, yeah. As I say, when we were talking about changing a mind changes every day. 1 minute, come on, you've got to go and do this. And the next day it's, I can't. We'll see.
You've got 2 Gold Cups, you've got 2 Stairs hurdles, but it's been a little while since Russell and Backer now. It's about time we had another Henderson Stairs hurdle horse. Impostoir looked really good early season. Newbury, Long Walker, Ascot. Was fairly well beaten in the Cleve hurdle last time, giving a bit of weight away. Do we think we saw the best of Impostoir that day?
No. And Nico's adamant, don't worry, ground. But on the other hand, what's the chances even talking now when the sun's out? It will be drying out, but it's going to have to dry out an awful lot. He was adamant that, given some better ground, you'll change that result very quickly. As you say, we've got £6 in hand on that as well. I think he still ran a good race. He was very impressive in the long walk. I just think if we can get back on a slightly friendlier surface, he'll be all right.
And Doddy the Great, I guess, will be in a...
Doddy will run in the stayers.
Yeah.
He likes... Yes, he will.
Okay.
He's not qualified for anything else. He's running this season with one objective: win as maximum prize money as he can for the Doddy Weir Foundation, which Kenny Alexander kindly gives everything he wins to the Doddy Weir Foundation. And so we're just running him in the maximum. And he's been brilliant all year. He's been second and third in all these grade ones and things. So he's earning loads of prize money, which is what it's all about for him.
A couple of years ago, when some people were almost basically saying the British trainers don't really know how to train and the Irish do, which for someone who obviously hadn't had 75 Cheltenham Festival winners then, but has now, is a bit ridiculous. Did that irk at all? Did you just think, look, come on, people?
Well, they're short memories, because when they started the Prestbury Cup, it's not something that everybody it's not the major part of the week, but it's the Anglo-Irish competition. 10 years ago, we won it every year by a wide margin. It was no contest. The balance of power has switched dramatically, I agree. And that scoreboard's been rather embarrassing the last few years, so we've got to put it right.
You and Willie Mullins obviously have great banter, but if you beat Willie Mullins in a close finish at Cheltenham, does it, I mean, it must do, if you're human, just give you that extra bit of kick? I mean, you want to bring down Sutton, don't you?
Well, I don't want to bring them down at all. I want to beat them. Yeah, there's plenty of friendly rivalry. I've been, but no more than probably is on a Saturday in England where we're playing amongst each others, and if you go back to the John Bon race with Pictori, Paul and I would be the same when we're having those big days in England. It's a battle, but we're not trying to bring each other down, and we've all had we had a big chat afterwards.
But it's a sport. You want to win.
It's a sport. Somebody has to lose and somebody has to win, and it's, of course, we all want to win. Otherwise, why would we do it?
Just want to mention John Bon. At this minute, if he was bouncing at home, would you give him a chance in the Ryanair, or do you think you're more now thinking of saving him for Aintree, etc.? He'd
had a hard race in the Clarence House, and I was nervous about coming back after such a real battle. Again, in very soft ground, coming back so quickly into the Ascot Chase. But John Bon, bless him, did everything, and everybody who looks after him. I mean, Robin looks after him in the box. The horse looked magnificent. The night before, 2 nights before, Robin was strapping him as what he did in the good old days. This horse, he just looked fantastic. Paddy rides him every day. He's the guy that's got to tell us what he feels. But you can never quite tell what's happening internally, mentally. Paddy was right. He was very confident all through the week before. We're always saying, are you happy? Are you happy? And, I said to JP, look, I can't do any more. I'm getting positive vibes wherever I go. We've got to go. And he was. And that was a month. We've got the same, a little bit less. It's got to be tough. I'd love him to go there, because he deserves one thing on this whole CV. It's been the most remarkable. He's been a remarkable horse. And his record is unbelievable.
Never out the first two.
Never been out the first. I'd hate to lose that. I think that's something to if you could go to bed with that intact. But that'll be hard. There are a lot of big battles to come. I'm going to say he's only 10. So there's, he's still full of it, and he's still a fighter of some proportion. And a lot of me says we ought to do it, and he deserves to win a race at the festival, because that's the one thing that's missing.
Django Bay, Grade 1 winning novice hurdler, Arkle winner as a novice chaser, come back this season better than ever after one or two little issues, and was terrific in the King George, and with a slightly different makeup of race, run in a slightly different way, he might be the King George winner.
I agree. In the King George, it just looked if they slowed up for a moment, and then there was a sprint came on. And it sort of, you looked if it got caught a bit flat-footed and stayed on very well. We know he comes up the hill at Cheltenham. He certainly did that last year. Yeah, you'd hope he's going to be a big player. We didn't run him in the Denman because he just didn't need to. We thought the ground was heavy enough, and he just didn't need to. He knows what he's doing. He's very professional. Everything's got to go right, but you have to go in there with high hopes.
And so many horses have great stories. Even with JP, the fact he loves John Bond so much. But Tony Barney, of course, Django Bay, his son James sadly passed away. There's a lot of emotion all mixed into this animal.
There is. Tony's, he's very entertaining. We have a lot of fun doing it. He's very excited, as we all are. When you have a Gold Cup horse that's got a big chance, it's exciting.
You've won the Gold Cup twice with Long Run and Bobsworth. Is this your possible Gold Cup winner? He's just got a bit more pace. I mean, Long Run wasn't slow, but just a bit more pace than those two.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he's pretty classy, I think you could call him. And certainly I don't think Bobsworth could have won an Arkle doing that. Long Run was a very talented horse. Bob was just something else. He was just so special. He just put his head down and fought. And you knew he'd come up the hill, but I think this horse will too. And
do you think he's got the class, Nicky? In your heart of hearts, Django Bay Gold Cup winner, would that just slightly surprise you, or do you really believe?
No, I could believe in this.
You can believe
I could believe it. He's got the right credentials. He's got everything's, if everything goes well between now and then. He's young enough, he's progressive enough. So, he's got a good chance. We can't go any further than that. There's going to be a lot of opposition. There was, watching the race in Ireland the other day was obviously important. We were watching all those races in Ireland. And, it seems that one or two of them, they couldn't all win. Factor File did the winning. And, some of their other major protagonists maybe weren't at their best on the day. So I think it lays it quite open. I think the King George still might be the form.
Mr. Coffey, now he's been a stalwart in the cross-country, but you were telling me earlier, probably not the cross-country.
I think he probably might have done his cross-country days. I don't say the novelty's worn off. He's for veterans chases, he could come into the National Hunt Chase.
Now I like that plan. National Hunt Chase would be interesting.
Yeah, why not? He's rated 100, I mean, it's 0 to 145, he's still 140. So, he gets into it nicely.
Will Charisma go in the mare's novice hurdle?
Probably more likely to come into the county, I would think.
County, okay. So handicap, 2 miles, strong gallop, deliver late on?
Sort of thing.
You need a new stable jockey. Iberico Law, what's he doing?
Coral.
Right.
Along with a few others. He's already won a really good prize in the Lanzarote, but he's in great form. Jericho de Repene, he goes Kim Muir, actually.
A lot of people are thinking that this could be the Henderson plot horse. Have you plotted him up?
If they've
Nicky?
seen him at home and on the racecourse, they'd say, well, if you're doing that, Henderson, you've lost the plot. Look, he's a nice horse. He's got a lot to learn. I'd be very surprised, but we'll see what happens.